guys, it's Mark, aka the Nerdy Punk, back with you again today for a new video. Today I'm going to give you guys my thoughts on Halloween. Not the 1978 version, but the 2018 version. I have no idea why they couldn't have given this a different title. It really makes no sense because it's a Halloween sequel, not a Halloween remake. So, I don't know, but I guess creativity was lacking. Anyway, this is David Gordon Green's interpretation of a Halloween sequel. Of course, Danny McBride was also a writer on this, as well as someone else, I think. But anyway, it brings back Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, and this film really analyzes, to me, it attempts to answer the question of what happens to the survivor in a horror movie. Like, in most slasher movies, there's one person, at least one person, usually just one person, that survives the killer's, escapades. And this movie, to me, attempted to answer the question of what happens to that survivor over the course of the next 40 years, in the case of Laurie Strode. And I really like that aspect of the film. For the most part, when you set that aside, it's just a really good slasher movie with Michael Myers. And I'm a big fan of the original film, so I was all on board for that. But I feel like this movie had more to it than just a slasher movie, which is why I think it was really good. That being said, there are a number of flaws, I think. Some of the performances I felt were a little cringeworthy. I was not completely on board with Judy Greer's performance, mainly because I know her a lot from comedy roles, and so it was hard to decipher, or it was hard for me to accept her as a dramatic actress. And I don't really feel like she did the best job in the world in her role, but her role was also a tough one to make, really compelling and serious. I felt like the writing was underdeveloped with her character. But that being said, Jamie Lee Curtis was phenomenal. Nick Castle reprised his role as Michael Myers. He's the one who played him in the original film. As well as John Carpenter came back as a producer, and he composed the score for this, which the score is fantastic. I could have used a little bit more of the Halloween theme, gotta be honest, but when it was used well. And another thing that really surprised me about the film was that there was such a high body count in this movie. The original Halloween, I think only 5 people die, correct? I think. You guys can correct me. I'm not a huge Halloween fan. I've not seen any besides the original and now this sequel here, which brings me to another point. This sequel is a direct sequel to the first film. So it's basically saying all the other, 9 Halloween movies, it's basically saying to disregard those. So, anyway, I thought that was also an interesting take on it. And there is a lot of nostalgia, put into this movie. A lot of references to the other films, as well as there's a few scenes that look almost directly copied from the original, but changed slightly. Which I kind of liked. I know that's a little bit lazy, but I did kind of like that. There is a point in this film where a certain character makes a really strange decision, and that's pretty much all I'm gonna say. I don't know why it was necessary. If you may know what I'm talking about, you may not if you see the film. But towards the middle or the end of the movie, there is a really weird moment where I almost literally laughed out loud because of how ridiculous it was. It was way too over the top, and I did not like that part of the film. The rest of the film I thought was really good. The ending left some ambiguity, because I do believe that if this film is successful, which it appears to be, it made $7.7 million last night. So, if it appears to be successful, I think they're going to make a sequel, and I think that's why the ending is a little bit ambiguous. Some people may watch it and think it's just a concrete ending, you know, but I don't think so. I read a little bit more into it than I think some people will. So, overall, the film, very good. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. I just can't give it a 4.5. There were too many flaws. And, you know, it was a slasher movie. It's not supposed to be amazing. You know, the slasher genre has never really been thought-provoking and really innovative with its storytelling. It's pretty much just it's just slasher movies. They're fun. They're popcorn movies that you just, sometimes they're cheesy. You know, it's just a good time. And Halloween 2018 edition was a good time. Not nearly as good as the 1978 version, but, you know, people are saying this is the best Halloween sequel. I don't really see a reason to argue with that. Again, I have not seen the others, but it was a solid movie. So yeah, 4 out of 5. If you enjoyed this video, leave me a like, hit that subscribe button down below to stay tuned for all the future content, and have an amazing day.